One's good, one's bad, yeah, they're really always like this. We don't know who's who, but at least we know who Mike is. They love to complain, they got sports on the brain, and they frequently drive each other insane. It's the good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. It's the good and the bad and the Mike.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Good, the Bad and the Mike. I'm Mushin, that's Cian.
Hello.
And that's Mike.
Hello.
Alright, let's just jump straight into it. Well, actually, no, let's not just jump straight into it. Forgot I wanted to say
Mixed messages.
Mixed messages, transitions, smooth. So we had some exciting news during the week for the podcast. In October, we'll be going on tour to see the NFL in London. Pretty hype.
I wasn't sure where you were going with this. I was like, what news have we got?
Oh yeah, no, I talked to Mike about it before you got on.
Yeah.
You forgot to say it to
Yeah,
you.
Keith, you missed the production meeting.
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
5 minutes late, okay? Apparently I missed a lot. But
You said you'd be there at 9. You weren't there at 9. We started the production meeting without you.
Yeah,
Shit happens.
you missed a lot.
But we are going to see the Jaguars play the Dolphins in Tottenham Hotspur's arena, which for some reason I cannot remember the name of.
I think it's just
London,
Hotspur Stadium.
Is
London
it
Stadium.
literally just Tottenham Stadium?
That's what the
It's
NFL kept
Tottenham
calling
London
it.
Stadium, isn't
Tottenham
it?
London Stadium?
NFL kept broadcasting it as Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's its official name.
I think they're still waiting on naming rights.
Yeah, I think it's just Tottenham Hotspur Stadium actually. That's a shit name for a stadium, and we can't go anymore. I've decided I'm not going to a stadium called Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
All right, so updated news. Me and Mike are looking for one.
Yes, we got one spare ticket.
But no,
Like
we're
and
going to
share the
probably-
video, and we will keep for a chance to win the ticket.
It'd mean we'd have to record the podcast earlier than usual, but we might record a podcast from London,
That
which would
would
be
be
pretty
fun.
hype. All of
Yeah.
us actually together, instead of
once.
just in separate locations.
Not having to guess what I say sometimes, you know?
Yeah, that'd be a huge plus. But anyway, that's the bit of housekeeping I had. So now that that's over, and we've established that, now let's just get into it with the news. Cian, do you want to go first? Do you have some news?
Yes. Just a quick bit of thing that came out, I think, today, not too long ago. The FAI have announced that they will have, equal compensation now, equal wages for the men's and women's teams, which, the FAI gets a lot of shit. Didn't think they'd be this progressive. So, seems good.
It's an interesting move, all right.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of people. Is like I don't know how much input the men's team actually had. I know they had to take some form of a small pay cut to actually make this go through. A lot of people were like praising Seamus Coleman, but I have no idea how much he actually had as
Is
an
it
input
just
into
because
this.
he's the captain?
That's
and
what I
everyone's
was
like,
thinking.
Oh, we just assume he's done the ton for
Yeah,
this.
like he may
Maybe.
have, he may not, but I don't know. People like there hasn't been too much released about that yet, but seems good.
Yeah, it's something to keep
That's
an eye
interesting.
on in the
Like,
coming days.
do
It's only
people
been
get
announced
paid
today,
much?
essentially, hasn't it?
Do people get paid much by their national teams? Because I always thought they didn't.
No, not definitely not a huge
Depends.
amount anyway.
I think it's different per country
Yeah, depends on
because I know
setup.
the States one. I'm very aware of the States one, which is that's a tricky issue in itself.
I love how people use this as a weapon where
Yes.
they didn't win the Olympics and people are like, well, you shouldn't be getting equal pay if you can't win the
But
Olympics. And I was like,
with
the
the-
men can't win the Olympics either. So if
but-
anything, this is more a case for equal
No,
pay now.
but the women's one is a big issue because they were given the chance before, but they rejected the deal.
Did they?
And if you take the deal for money's worth, they actually made more than the men throughout the
Huh.
year, based on their deal, because they get all the benefits of. They get guaranteed salary while the men are based on bonuses. So even if they win, lose, or lost, they're guaranteed this money, while the men would be Sorry, it's all or nothing. If you didn't win, you didn't win it.
Yeah, and then they
That's
went
fair.
on and won the World Cup, wasn't it? And they didn't get
Yeah.
bonuses for that. Or
And
something.
then the World Cup, it was something like if the men won the World Cup, they get. I think so. I think they used the example as 32 million was the prize money for winning the World Cup for the men's.
Yeah.
The men get 25% of that. The women
Oh,
want
yeah.
to win 25% of the women's wages at the World Cup, but the women's one is, I think, only 5 million if you win the women's World Cup. But they
Yeah.
want 32 million, 25% of 32 million, like the men's. And the money just
Yeah.
wasn't there. It's a long one, and I feel that's an episode in itself if we
That
ever
could be,
decide
because
to do.
I didn't
It
really
could
look
be
too much
interesting.
into that. But
Like,
that is, yeah.
be an
Yeah,
interesting one to talk
it's
about.
it could be an interesting topic. I feel like there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot more to it than what we can fit
Yeah.
in like a 5
Oh,
minute
Exactly, in
Yeah.
a 5-minute.
Just announcing that it happened. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's something definitely to keep an eye on. I'd be interested to see how much of a role the men's team or players from the men's team, such as James Coleman, actually did play in
Yeah.
getting that over the line.
True.
Mike, let's go to you for a bit of news next.
Oh my god, you're putting me on edge here. You know, it's going with. Okay, well, the Champions League and the Europa League groups were out.
Yes, have you any takeaways from either of those groups?
Now, I was talking to a few people now on the groups, and I'm interested to see you from your end because you're a Liverpool fan as well.
Yeah.
I make a case that our group is technically the group of death, based on the fact there are 4 very good teams in our group, while other teams have 2 solid teams. There's an outlier team, which is 4th place, that you could say is guaranteed 4th place.
Now, Mike, I'm going to stop you here for a second. I watched half a Liverpool game with you at the weekend, and so you take me for not believing you right away, given some of your shouts at that game. So I'm going to see, but
Hold on,
you know, the
I'll give you the
biasness-
example. So the one
I
people are
do
saying
have the
is a
groups
group
here
of death.
beside me if you want them.
Yeah, so I have
I'm
the
looking them
City one, which people are saying is the group of death, is Manchester City, PSG, Leipzig, and Club Brugge.
Ooh.
It's a tough group, to be fair.
It's a tough
Yeah.
group. Okay?
I
And
mean,
the other
yeah, like I can see
Liverpool's
what Mike means. Like Bruges, they're one, and it's
Yeah.
who can win out between the other 3. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
And well, Liverpool's group is Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Porto, and AC Milan.
It's a tough group. None of those teams are. No, not that any team in the Champions League is a pushover.
I
but
how
You
much
cannot-
how much better are Porto than Club Brugge?
Porto were in the last 16. They beat Juventus
Oh,
last
no,
year in the
yeah,
Champions
like-
League. Very much
Yeah,
respected
well
team
better.
in Europe.
I'd say that the overall quality in Group B is better.
That's what I'm saying.
But-
The argument, it's interesting to see how people define what a group of death is. Mine is,
Oh no, yeah.
it's a
Also-
very competitive 4-team
No,
group.
it is. But then again, you kind of have the opposite to the bad City. Like Liverpool, in my view, probably should win that group. Not handily, but like Milan aren't great these days, and Madrid are, I don't know, okay, maybe. Like Liverpool should win that, but I don't know.
Atletico are a very good team.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
they won La
I've heard
Liga.
people talking about them. Oh,
won La Liga
did.
last year.
yeah. That's why they were
Yeah.
in pot 1.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's also worth noting that Group A.
What the fuck
City's
is that? Who is that in Group D? What the fuck is a sheriff?
Oh,
FC Sheriff Tourist.
the Moldovan team.
There's a Moldovan
First time
team.
first time in. First time
I'm so hyped
qualifiers.
for that. The fact that their badge is like a sheriff's badge.
It's
I
worth
get it.
noting as well that Group A has 3 finals between all 4 teams. One for PSG, one for City, one for Club Brugge in 1978 against Liverpool. Group B has 25 finals and 15 Champions League titles between all 4 of them.
Oh yeah, if you're talking historically, but we're not. We're
Huge.
talking
But
right
no,
now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
You're spot on.
That's
And I think
you know,
still Group B is definitely a much more
in that
difficult game.
case, Nottingham Forest should be playing in the Champions League, but they're not.
Oh man, I wish.
Someday.
Nottingham Forest for the Super League. 100%.
Yeah.
I definitely think Group B is yeah. I
It
mean,
definitely
Group A
looks-
is a tough group as well, though. Leipzig, PSG, and City are all very good teams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
It's
are
just the
like I
fact
said,
that City
interesting
and
groups.
PSG have gotten drawn into the same
Yeah.
group.
That Bayern, Barcelona, Benfica,
I
Dynamo
know.
Kiev group also looks very good. Like there'll be some
Does.
very interesting
That's it.
matchups.
I am looking forward to El Clasico.
Yeah. I
Does
do
anyone
like
have
that
any
name.
comments on the Europa League groups?
Let me pull them up.
The Europa League groups. I was more when I actually saw the groups. I was astounded by the amount of the quality of teams that are actually in it now.
Yeah, there are some very good teams. That group B: Monaco, PSV, Real Sociedad, and Sturm Graz. Leicester don't have an easy group either.
No, Leicester have a
Legia
very
Warsaw,
tough.
Napoli, and Spartak Moscow. Again, there could be some very interesting matchups in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most
Um,
of these are like consistent European football teams
Yeah, and
for all
then
the groups, really.
we did leave out a competition at the start of this segment, or when we started talking about the
Oh, yeah.
groups. Like
Nobody
We-
cares, Sean.
the
Nobody cares.
Europa
We might have
Conference
a
League.
We might have a Tottenham fan.
I
Yeah, we
was surprised to find out that they're actually in it. I thought it was a one-leg playoff for some reason that they were in. So, I'm happy to see that they turned that tie around, didn't they? They're actually in the competition now.
I was disappointed to see they turned that tie around. To be honest,
I was disappointed because I thought when Harry Kane scored 2 goals, he was immediately put into fancy and let me down as captain.
That's very fair.
but they have Stade Rennais, Vitesse, and NS Mura. I think are Slovenian, if I'm not mistaken. SVN, I think is Slovenia.
Yeah, it would be.
And then Roma have FC Zorya Luhansk from the Ukraine, CSKA Sofia from Bulgaria, and so many regrets. I'm not even
That's the
going to
last team.
try to pronounce
So
that
just-
Norwegian team.
All right, so,
So
it's
many
just
regrets.
so many
So they're
regrets.
south
Yeah.
of Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and pronounce that Norwegian team's name.
That's fair.
But yeah, probably not as many interesting matchups in the Europa Conference League.
All right, the real question then: how long until they bring in the Europa D League for the other team?
Oh, that'd be yes.
So
And
actually,
Spurs are the first English team to both lose and win a game in the Europa Conference League. Pretty
Well,
impressive.
so what's the story with Europa Conference League? So is it like it sets Champions League that the third place in the group, so say Europa League, third place in the Europa League, do they go into the round of 16
Yeah,
in the
No.
conference?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
it's
don't
the same.
think they do.
They do, yeah.
Okay, Google hasn't updated then because it doesn't show they do.
Yeah, it's the same deal. So actually, how it works is, group winners progress to the round of 16. Group runners-up go into a knockout round playoffs where they'll be joined by the teams finishing third in the UEFA Europa League groups.
Okay.
So if you finish second in your group, you're in a playoff with all the teams, the Europa League rejects, and then
Yeah.
you have to win that
Yeah,
playoff
to
to
go
get
through.
into the round of 16. And it's the
So-
same. I think it's the same for the Europa League
And
now
also,
with Champions League
There's-
rejects, but I'm not 100%.
I haven't noticed, but does the Europa League and the Conference League have their own separate team songs, or is it still the Champions League anthem?
I do not know.
I have not watched enough Europa League football to.
I've not watched any Conference League football, so I wouldn't have a clue.
It'd be surprised me because isn't them? Wait, no. I was gonna say doesn't it have the word champions in it, which would be weird. It's not the Champions League, but I think it doesn't have lyrics. The actual
It does
one,
have lyrics. The actual song has lyrics.
It has champions in it, which would be weird
No,
if they weren't in the Champions League.
The
doesn't it?
Champions League anthem actually has three. It's in German, Italian, and English, I believe, all sent in that one song.
That
So
would
I think
make
it
sense.
starts off Italian, then goes to German, and then transitions into English.
I have a story about the Champions League, and so when I was in first year living in like Blackrock dorms in UCD, so it's just a lot of people in like individual dorm rooms, not like your traditional like dorm or like sets of 6
Yeah.
or 8, which colleges tend to in Ireland. So we just had a lot of people around, and we had a lot of lads. So we used to have FIFA tournament, and I'm shocking at FIFA. I fucking hate FIFA. Whenever we
You
did
were a
have,
Pez man.
no, I just kind of found soccer games boring. Well, like even when I was still into soccer, so it wasn't very good. But whenever we had a FIFA tournament final, we used to always play the UEFA Champions League anthem before it, and Levels by Avicii. That was
You'll
our
love
warm
to
up
see
to
it.
the FIFA tournament finals.
Is that what you'll do now if you ever bring your teams to Champions League finals in
Oh yeah,
Football
yeah, got to
Manager?
get the Levels by Avicii going in the dressing room beforehand. Give the team
Who
talk.
is it?
That will be white flag Dido.
But that's giving up. I feel like
That
that's
is,
very
yeah, no.
pessimistic.
No, because it says there will be no white flag.
Yeah, there
But it
will
says
be
you're
no.
going
We
down
won't
with
give
the
up.
ship.
That is
implies
also
you're losing.
true. It says mixed messages in it. Mixed messages.
Exactly. So they'll be so confused. The other team will be like, "Wait, are they giving up or are they not giving up?" I don't know.
All right, let's
It's
move
ambiguous.
on from that piece of news. I have some F1 news because we
Yes.
had the Formula One came back from its summer break this weekend with the Grand Prix in Spa in Belgium. That was a complete shit show.
Really?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
weather was horrific.
Yeah.
So they got through qualifiers. Lando Norris apparently had an incredible lap in qualifiers, and just a huge crash then towards the end of it.
Oh fuck.
He was.
A lot of crashes this year. I feel like
There have
doesn't
been a
be
lot
this
of
many
crashes,
crashes.
which is quite yeah. I'm not sure what the story is there, but yeah, it was a huge crash. He was all right anyway, but like conditions were absolutely shocking. And prior to the crash, a number of drivers like Sebastian Vettel had been on the team radio saying that the conditions were shocking and it was unsafe and it should be red flagged and just stopped. But anyway, on race day then they had the F3 in the morning. Raced fine. They had another race, a Porsche. I'm not sure what the thing is, but they had another race anyway later in the day. And then it came to the F1 race and they delayed it because of the rain and the conditions. It was just insane. And then after 4 hours of delays, they cancelled it. They got the drivers to come out in formation from their qualifiers and they did 2 laps behind the safety car, so no overtaking, and they awarded half points. And
So
it
it was
sounded
just
like a shit show.
basically entirely on qualifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you had
So-
fans there standing in the rain for 4 hours,
It's like
not told
okay,
a thing.
I was watching this recently when I was at home, but it's like that episode of The Simpsons where they go and they watch the drag racing, and Mr. Burns complains they're going too fast, so they ask to keep him in first gear, and that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Them like, woo, I
Would
guess.
it not have been more entertaining if they said to everyone, "Right, everyone have your cars. You're gonna run it.
Yeah.
One lap. One lap. Winner takes all."
That would have been so hype.
Talladega Nights.
best
I
comments
was thinking
saw-
Talladega Nights style.
Some of the best comments I saw online about it was one guy said, "I can't believe I just spent 4 hours not watching Formula One on TV," and someone replied, "It's not even just not watching Formula One. I spent 4 hours watching rain in Belgium." It's like, yeah, it's very fair. But one of the best things to come out of it was there's a video of Lewis Hamilton sitting in his car, and you can hear him on the team radio talking about how he took a bathroom break, and apparently the bathroom he went into, someone had just left a shocker in it.
Was it in the porta potty? That is
Oh.
disgusting.
you can just hear him talking to his engineer on the team radio about it, and he's just like, "That's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life."
Now, hear me out here. Was it Verstappen getting the mind games in?
No, apparently it was some poor French cameraman.
That's it, no. That's the worst part. I kind of want to
s-
hear this now, but I really don't
so
want to Google
funny.
search Lewis Hamilton shitting. Or
If
Lewis Hamilton
I find it again, I'll
fell
send it
the
on to you
brink.
because it's fantastic. Keen, have you more news?
Yes, very big, shocking news, some would say. So this is a two-parter.
Oh,
Ooh.
exciting.
2 weeks ago, now probably I can't remember the exact date, there was the Donegal County final, which I believe was technically the 2020 one because they never got one run last year. And there's kind of three good teams in Donegal at the minute, my club, and then two other ones, Kilcar and Naomh Conaill played the county final. Went all the way to penalties, and Naomh Conaill won 4-2 on penalties, I think. They won a county championship on penalties, first of all. Probably a first. Don't quote me on that, but I haven't heard of many other big penalty shit.
Fair.
Okay.
And that result has now been overturned as Naomh Conaill used too many subs in the extra time. And they're going to have to do it all over again.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
huge.
Yeah. So that was
That's-
announced yesterday, I think. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the lads have been on the lash for the last 2 weeks. So for them to prepare again, it's going to take a lot.
Oof. That's an oof and a half.
Mm.
Jeez.
Like, you kind of have to blame the managers. They should have been more aware.
Oh, 100%. Like, you should know how many subs you've made.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
it's
that's not great.
that'll be a fun one.
Mike, I hear you have more news as well?
I mean, I thought we'd save this news. It's probably the biggest thing to happen over the weekend.
I mean, I have some NFL news, and I figured, seeing as how this is the NFL preview show, we'll just
We'd save.
segue from
Alright.
NFL news into the NFL preview. So,
That's
work away.
your
Ronaldo's
transitions are
back.
getting better, but your transitions to transitions are not as
The
good.
fact that I have to
Exactly.
explain it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ronaldo's back in the Premier League, it seems.
It is pretty huge.
It is.
Nah,
This is actually, I was reading today, this is a lot more long term than I was thinking of.
2 years,
Because
isn't it?
Yeah, but it means the transfer of Ronaldo's 9-year-old son from the Juventus
Ah,
under-9s to the United
yes.
under-9s, who scored
Yeah.
56 goals in 20 games last year. That's good quality there, getting them in early.
That's the real reason they signed him.
Yeah.
That's it. Wait till Madrid pop up
Yeah, wait till he's 12 and Madrid come looking for him.
with the €200 offer.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Apparently, the reason why
200 million?
they went through with it, they signed him. It was
No.
because
Cities.
United couldn't stand to see him
in
potentially
City.
sign at City, and the
That's fair.
Glazers were worried about the protests that would start if
Yeah.
he went to City and they didn't do anything to try and stop it.
Yeah.
So they tried to
Put a
sign him
bid.
themselves.
Like,
That-
yeah, 'cause
I-
you remember the whole Carlos Tevez incident? Can you imagine if City got Ronaldo, it would be 10 times.
Oh, it'd be
That's-
shocking.
Welcome to
But,
Manchester.
City apparently are not happy though because they think, from what I saw, sources inside City apparently think that their bid was essentially used as leverage to get United involved, and I can't remember. Is it Mino Raiola is his agent? I'm not 100%
Yes,
on that.
that name sounds
But,
very familiar.
Yeah, City apparently they've had a complete breakdown in relationship with Cristiano Ronaldo's agent because they think that they were just used to get him to United.
I can see that.
I mean, yeah, that's the other agents have done that. There was I can't remember exactly, but there was a young Ghanaian player, who's, I think his agent said, and he also said on his Twitter, that he's officially has a deal in place to sign for Liverpool to lure off another team in the French league, but increase, I think it was Leverkusen's deal to buy him, which ended up happening. Liverpool said, we were never in for this guy. And then Leverkusen were really pissed off because they're like, well, we were told by the player and his agent that you came in for him.
Yeah, that's...
I'd just like to apologize to. I just fact checked myself, and it's not Mino
Ooh.
Raiola, and
Ooh.
I should have guessed because Ronaldo is Portuguese. It's Jorge Mendes,
Yes.
who seems to be the agent of like all of the Portuguese players.
What, Keith, you're a United fan. What do you think of this signing?
Quite happy with it. I'm not gonna lie, it did break my heart a little bit when I was reading the reports going to City. I was There's such big Ronaldo fan. Fuck, love watching Ronaldo play, and that as someone who doesn't follow football anymore, that hurts. So I did actually. I'm not gonna lie. I did consider buying a United jersey now that he's back. That did pop into
That's
my
fair.
head.
He's
I
an interesting
think-
one for fantasy football.
He is an interesting one, and I'll have him on my fantasy football. But I think it's actually, if the long-term thing, I think it's a bad transfer in terms of the football thing. I'm not saying, once again, I need to stress, I'm not saying he's a bad player and he won't work out. I think he's going to score loads of goals, but the impact he's going to have on the squad on first thing is it's going to impact Bruno in the fact that Bruno
Yeah.
will now no longer be the main man. It'll be Ronaldo's team. It won't be Bruno
Yeah.
Fernandes' team. Ronaldo will be on the penalties, the free kicks, everything. And I remember in our earlier show, I think it was our first episode, we were talking about, was that a factor when he was playing for Portugal, that he
Yeah.
wasn't coming through? Could that impact him in England?
Quite
We
possibly.
don't know.
Oh yeah.
And the
definitely
second
could.
thing is, how does this affect Greenwood? In fact, I think Greenwood's a fantastic player. And does this mean he's getting less time on the pitch because now you have Ronaldo to think of in
Yeah,
that
I'm
position?
not sure. I think Ole said that he sees Ronaldo as more of a centre forward now, so I think Greenwood can play out wide. But then you're looking at Greenwood, Rashford, Sancho.
That's what I'm saying. You
Martial,
have all
for
these young
those-
talents. I think Martial's
Fred
is as
McTominay.
good as done.
Yeah,
Fred McTominay. I think Martial's as good as gone. Wouldn't be surprised if he leaves this window, but honestly, I think Greenwood is arguably one of the best finishers in the league.
What
And-
about what you call him, the English lad who went on loan last year from United, played a stormer for West Ham, Lingard. Is he still
Lingard.
there, or did
Jesse
he
Lingard.
move away?
He's still there. No, he's still there.
Thought he'd get a move away.
So
'cause
I
it's not
I
working
found
for him.
it strange
I think
in that sense.
West Ham wanted to make that permanent, but I
As a
don't think they
team,
did in the end.
and it goes against their transfer policy over the last few years. They weren't buying overage stars; they were buying young talent to grow into the team. They were purposely buying young in their transfer
yes,
model.
but exceptions can be made.
Ah, I understand, but as a whole, is how I see it. Once again, I think he'll score loads of goals, but it'll be interesting to see the impact he takes on the team.
He'll definitely have a very positive, if nothing else, financially, because I'd imagine.
Oh,
Well,
financially, it
PSG
makes sense.
sell on Messi shirts within
Ah.
a couple hours or something.
That's
stupid
why the
like that.
Glazers. It works out for Glazers because the goodwill's back with the Glazers. They got
Yeah.
the prodigal sons back. The jersey sales will sell out again.
Yeah, like people are still going to hate the Glazers, just a little bit less. A little less.
Yeah,
Just because we were talking about Jesse Lingard, it was reported today that United are fine to let him stay, but if West Ham make an offer, which I think it's expected they might do, he could very easily be out.
All right. Hypothetical question here:
You go on.
If you're Jesse Lingard,
Yes,
do you go back to West Ham or do you just leave it as it is?
I think
Not
you go
tarnish.
back to West Ham,
I
Not
think you go
tarnish
back.
your reputation there. You know.
especially when West Ham are actually doing quite well.
Uh,
I did
Benrahma
see they're
and
in the
Antonio are
Europa
doing
League,
very
aren't
well.
they?
Yeah,
they're up.
So that's fair. But he had. It's kind of like he was there for a little bit, kind of reached a status now. Leave it there. Just leave it there. I mean, if he wants to play, he probably should go. But,
oh, 100%.
yeah.
Like he's still very. Is he not actually as young as I think he
He's
is?
No,
28.
I just looked up. He's
Yeah.
older than
Yeah.
I thought.
28 still young, right, kid? Right?
Sure.
Yes.
28
Solid.
is
Tell
still
myself.
young, to be fair.
Yeah, you asked Mike that question on Friday. He has a very different answer. Last Friday.
Right.
Yeah. So
Moving
I would be curious to see what United fans think of it long term.
Yeah, fair. I'd
See how
be
this
interested
works
to
out.
see what the wages he's on are as well.
I heard
Sure.
it's about 2 million a month is what I'm hearing, 2.5 a month.
I heard about 25 million net per year,
So much money.
which is huge, which I think, I know I looked this up last week, what De Gea was on, 'cause he's their current highest paid.
375 a year, isn't it?
I have here, actually, okay, so according to SpotRack, which is apparently quite fairly on the ball,
Yeah.
They have De Gea at 19.5 million per year,
Okay.
and Cristiano Ronaldo at 26.5 million pounds per year, £510,000 per week,
Yeah.
which makes him by far the highest paid player at United. I think possibly the
Premier League.
I
I
think
don't.
yeah, I think De
I'd
Gea
be
was quite high up
surprised
there.
if
I
City
mean-
didn't have who's City's highest players.
City's highest player is Kevin De Bruyne on 20 million per
Oh
year.
yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, EPL salary rankings. One is Ronaldo,
Yeah.
26.5. That's 6 million more than De Bruyne.
It's
Oh, De Gea is
insane.
third.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Lukaku's on 16.9 million per year. Jesus. All right, let's move on anyway.
Yes.
Keane, did you have any more news before I go for the NFL news?
No, I think that's everything work away. Transition machine.
Like, you didn't have anything left?
No, go for
Alright.
it.
So, I have 3 bits of NFL news. One is 2 small bits, to be fair. One is Minshew Mania has gone to the Eagles.
Oh, so disappointed.
I am like, if it means he plays now, I'm happy for him. But him at the Jags or something special.
It just means Keith's t-shirt's just useless now.
we still have the memories.
Do you think he becomes a starter at the Eagles?
He's got a shot. Like,
Hurts? Yeah, I don't know what story is with Hurts.
I haven't seen him play now in the preseason, but
He was supposed to play in the New England game. He was a late scratch. He was like warming up and all, then all of a sudden brought to the hospital for stomach
Who,
reasons.
Hurts?
Yeah.
would you
Ah,
say
I
he was
heard a small bit
hurting a
about
little
that.
bit?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Keane. Is Joe Flacco still at the Eagles as well?
Yeah, Flacco's at the Eagles.
So he's got to beat out Joe Flacco and Jalen
All right.
Hurts.
Check down.
What
Yeah.
did they trade for him? I didn't even look at the
A
stuff.
conditional 6th round pick.
All right, that's not
I
much.
didn't see
but
what the condition is.
If,
I mean,
if the Eagles have faith in Hurts, there's no reason to make that trade. So they
I
have
mean,
questions.
there's no reason not to make that trade for
To
a
be
conditional
fair-
6th round pick.
to
I
be
assume
fair,
as a quarterback, he might be on some. That might. I didn't think he might.
let's not forget the Eagles weren't sure of last season, the last game of the season, when they had to try out Nate Sudfeld to see if he has it.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Jalen Hurts. Hold on. It's an easy way to do this.
What are you doing?
I'm on Spot Rack again.
Oh, fair.
They don't have Gardner Minshew yet. So let me see if they have him for the Jags.
Do we think Gardner Minshew's taken a shit in the last few months?
Ooh.
As number 2 isn't an option for him.
I think he's settled for
Minshew's
number 3.
Base salary is 965,000. He's got a
it's not too bad.
zero signing bonus apparently.
Yeah, he was a 6th rounder. So,
So it's
mean-
it's like a free.
like for
Was
6,
Minshew-
yeah.
Was
Free
Minshew
trade
undrafted
for
or was he drafted?
No, I'm literally looking at it here. He was a 6th rounder.
Ah.
Late in the 6th as well, I think. Was it? No. 178. Make of that what you will.
No roster
I don't know.
bonus, no workout bonus, nothing, no bonuses of any kind. Apparently, just 965,000 base salary.
Like, I think it's a good
Yeah.
trade for everyone involved, except for maybe the Jaguars.
Well, the Jaguars have CJ Beathard now.
And
Do
how
they?
much did you hate him
Yeah.
last year?
No,
Not
that
as
was
much as-
Nick Mullins.
No, not as much as Mullins.
Yeah.
I feel like
Also,
I just,
they're
in
paying
my head,
CJ
you just didn't
Beathard
like him.
1.5 million base salary.
Well,
So- Who did Mullins go to again?
Mullins went to. I thought he went to the Eagles actually. But
Did he
I
go
must
to the
be
Eagles?
wrong.
I
think-
no,
yeah,
he's not there
I-
now, is
he's
I
not.
think he's at the Eagles because I remember
He's
watching him
actually
play.
not. I'm looking at their roster now.
he's not at the Eagles. Oh yeah, no, he was released 2 days ago from the Eagles.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, because he played against New England.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
he's
so
definitely
they
not there
released
now.
Nick Mullins and traded for Gardner Minshew.
Fair.
So I don't know where he like. I don't know if anyone's going to pick up Nick Mullins.
I'm seeing breaking news: 49ers in talks with Mullins.
I did
For
just see
starting role.
one of the top YouTube videos is should the 49ers sign Nick Mullins to replace Nate Sudfeld?
I mean, especially after what happened last year, I'd be surprised if someone didn't put him on the extended practice squad and keep him away from the team
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah.
To
be fair, Nick Mullins was your most durable player.
He was.
That is true. Actually, not even, because he had to get that. He had to get arm surgery at one point.
Like I said, your most durable player.
CJ Beathard came in.
Good old CJ Beathard.
In other quarterback news, the Broncos during the week named Teddy Bridgewater their starter over Drew Lock.
I know you were very excited with this.
Because A, I really like Drew Lock and I'm very disappointed. And B, Teddy Bridgewater, aka Theodore Roosevelt. I'm really hyped to see him play, and every time he nearly gets sacked, go, yeah, get down, Mr. President.
So you're committing to watching a lot of Broncos games this year?
I feel he's not going to watch the Broncos game.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
I suppose the AFC West is a lot better than Keane last year watching the NFC East. Torturing himself.
I don't know why he did that.
I just kind of kept doing it. It was fun.
All right.
That's how addictions happen.
In my last bit of NFL news, it's QB news again. Apparently, from reports earlier in the week, the Dolphins became the front runners for Deshaun Watson.
I did see this.
And according to a team that was in the running and pulled out, the Texans are looking for 3 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders.
I mean,
that seems insane to me.
That is way too much. And has the court case finished? Is that all resolved?
No.
Doubt it.
So
not at all.
Yeah. Even with the court case on, I'd say at most you'd be lucky to get 2 first-rounders.
Like, there's a chance that he doesn't play for a good bit of the season.
Oh, yeah.
There's a chance he's suspended.
Yeah.
Until the court things are finished. We don't know how long that could take.
And that's only civil. Like, there's apparently a relatively high chance that criminal charges are pressed as well.
That's fair. Like, it'd be stupid for anyone to touch him now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, especially, like, the Dolphins have a young QB in Tua.
Which they only drafted last year.
Yeah, like, how uncertain of your pick do you have to be to go?
To be
three
fair,
first-rounders and 2 second-rounders.
The Dolphins did botch the whole Tua transition, I feel. Like, they took Fitzpatrick out while he was playing really well.
Yeah.
And that, I heard, from what I heard, half the team were very against that decision, and it caused a rift in the locker room.
Yeah, not surprised.
And then during the games when Tua was playing, they took Tua out to put Fitzmagic in to save, not even save today, but try and win it. And it's like, surely you let him attempt to do it.
Yeah.
That's like, now, you go, we're going to go back to Ryan, but you're going to start the next game.
It was a really weird season for the Dolphins quarterback.
Oh, it was. Because, like, he definitely, for someone who went 5th overall, did not look confident at any point.
Yeah.
In that season. I was just curious, because obviously they got rid of Fitzmagic, and I was looking it up. And they have Jacoby Brissett.
What a man.
On their quarterback team. So they've got, if they're not super happy with Tua, they have a decent backup who's more than capable of coming in and playing some games. He isn't.
Yeah. He'll do a job.
Yeah, no guarantee he's going to win you games. Ryan Fitzmagic is obviously guaranteed to win you games.
He will win you a game at least.
Brissett's going to be available. Could easily be available for more games than Deshaun Watson. So
while we're on the Ryan Fitzmagic, I'm really hyped for him this year because he's with the football team. And he has a genuine shout to get to the playoffs, which makes him eligible for the Hall of Fame. Like, I think the football team is the strongest team in the NFC East.
I just did the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life.
No, what you do, Keen?
What you do?
I wanted to look up the Washington football team, so I just Google searched football team.
Ah,
You fool, Cian.
Yep. To be fair, the top result is Liverpool.
Nice.
oh,
Then United.
ooh, not so much.
Because I was sitting there and I was like, why is it showing me this? And I went, oh yeah, because they're football teams.
But anyway, Mike, you think the Washington football team have a good chance of making it to the playoffs?
I think their D line is arguably the best D
very
line
good,
in the
yeah.
entire league.
Interesting. And who else would
they
you
were-
say has a good chance of making it to the playoffs, Mike?
From which
Boom,
division?
transition.
Transition.
Oh.
Transition, Mike.
All right, so if I
In
go,
general.
I'll go for my own bias. I honestly think Patriots are making the playoffs this year, and I think they could go all the way. Not saying
Do you
they'll
think
win
they're
it.
going to
'cause
win
it
that division?
depends.
Or are they going to get in?
I
wildcard?
think they can win the division. I honestly think they can win the division, and I think we'll win it on based on the fact that the Bills have to play the Chiefs, and that they could drop a win there, and that might be the difference.
I mean, I don't know though. The Bills just look fantastic at the
Oh,
moment.
Honestly,
the Bills.
Even if they
the
lose
Bills-
to the Chiefs,
That's
like,
fine. The Bills look fine, but let's
incredible.
not forget the game we played them. We had the chance to win it, and Cam fumbled it at their 10-yard line with 15 seconds to go. We had the field goal in the timeout, but he just tried to get the extra yards and fumbled it. And now we have weapons.
like, yeah, honestly, I think one of the most improved teams from last year has to be the Patriots.
And our defense
The
is...
Bills roster doesn't look that bad though, or not
doesn't.
the roster, the schedule.
I'm not
doesn't
saying
look
that.
bad.
I'm not saying that they're going to win the division, but I'm saying that if either Cam can get his shit together and turn
Yeah.
to his right hand side, or
Oh
if
my
Mac
god.
is,
Cam not turning right was the bane of my existence.
if Mac is like decent, then they've got a very solid football team there. So I would they have to be on your
And
one of your bigger improvements.
I think if you look at our running, we are very stacked on running backs at the moment. We have 3 very good running backs. I think all 3 can do very well.
No Sony
And-
Michelle anymore though.
No, but that's actually very good for us. The fact we had huge roster problems. We're like, who we gonna cut? Who's this? Do we bring this guy? Do we bring that guy? But with Sony gone, it meant JJ Taylor now will get a spot. And I think he's a
Fair.
better running back.
I've heard Stevenson has been playing very well. I haven't
Ah,
watched him, but I heard he was
Yes.
been well.
The way I describe Stevenson is he's built like LeGarrette Blunt, but he's really elusive.
Fair.
And he's been playing so well impressive that he might break the rule Bill has of running backs of being redshirted. I know
Like,
the
yeah,
last...
like if you put him on your practice squad, there's a chance you could lose him. So
Yeah, so
surprised.
I know Damian Harris, who's arguably our best back, he was redshirted his year.
Fair.
If it comes down to it, do you think the Patriots could do the double over the Bills?
Yes, I really do.
Now, once again, Mike, I'm going back to watching this Liverpool game with you at the weekend.
Yes.
A
I
little bit
also
biased.
think you're wrong.
Little bit
that's-
of
I think if you look at the Patriots, the way we're set up to play at the moment is we have set up our defense, I think, will be a top 3 on where it is, and players to watch out for. In general in the league, I think Josh Uche has looked phenomenal. Judon was, I think, our best player throughout all the playoff. I know it's the preseason games, but he looked well worth the money we spent. Hightower coming back is a massive boost for that defense.
That's right.
He was effectively our Brady, but for the defense. He picks the plays, he can audible it out, he can spot
Yeah.
things. He's like having a coordinator on the field.
Oh yeah.
The
Like
only
most-
thing that
most
gets
defense,
yeah,
a linebacker like that.
only
but yeah.
thing that concerns me is our cornerbacks. But it depends what Stephon Gilmore is having a hold in. Which is
yeah.
he's injured, but he's fine. And once he gets paid, he won't be
He's
injured, if that
He's-
makes sense.
Air quotes.
Yes, air quotes here. He's nursing an injury, But as soon
Yes.
as he gets his money
His
situation
wallet
out,
is hurting.
yes. So he's technically
He's
reporting
torn
in.
his bank account.
I mean, I don't blame him, to be
Exactly.
fair.
No.
Gotta get that money.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, it
Yeah.
will be interesting to see.
Fair.
For all I know, who knows? I think, and we have an easy, start to the schedule. I think, which helps. I think it's
Who's your weak one?
Miami.
Oof.
Oh, you have. Well,
Deshaun Watson.
I mean,
Oof. Potentially. Well,
Dolphins, Jets. Yeah, but then you've got the Saints. Well, Saints.
But
Who knows
Saints,
about the
you
Saints
don't know
this year?
who. Yeah, who's the QB at the Saints, and what are
Jameis
they like
Winston was
without Drew?
named as the starter.
he was. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah,
He was.
Just,
I
but it's
didn't
now a
bring it up
case of
because I didn't care about his name.
famous Jameis.
Well,
It's a case
but
of
it's no Theodore Roosevelt.
no one. Saints is a weird one because we don't know what the Saints are going to be like without Drew Brees.
Then you've
Very
got the
fair.
Buccaneers.
Yeah. Oh, that's a loss. That's
I mean,
straight up loss.
to be fair, like the Jets are no longer a walkover. Apparently, Zach Wilson is the greatest thing to come out of the draft in years. Phenomenal.
Salah
Corey
can do a
Davis.
job with a defense.
Corey Davis has also looked phenomenal. He scares me a bit, but I think we should win that game though.
Fair.
And one game that really stands out to me is on the 14th of November. Patriots
Browns.
Yeah, it
Browns.
does, doesn't it?
Keane.
Big
Yeah.
game. First
Oh,
win.
yeah.
Transition.
I have that. I have that as a loss for the Patriots.
I'm fucking nailing this today.
That'll be well done, Oshina.
Cheers.
It'll be interesting to see how you find your next one. But I'm sure we can. I'll just start laughing and then we'll go off a haha on that one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ah.
Save it, kid. Save it for later.
No. We're looking fairly happy. Our weirdest, biggest concern right now is our kicking. Because
Yes.
Parkey got injured, so we cut him. Which is how he got injured, when the coaches cut him.
Yes.
But no, so he's out for the injury or for the season. So they got rid of him, and then they brought in what's his name? Brought in
I'm trying
somebody
to
who
remember.
played yesterday.
Yeah,
he
I
didn't
was
do
watching
great.
the game and I can't remember his name.
No, I'm looking it up here now. But he missed one field goal, and then the one field goal I think he did make was just squeaked inside. Yeah, Chase Mclaughlin, that's who it was. Who's been in the league for years, Chase Mclaughlin. So I was surprised to see how shaky he looked. But I don't know. Hopefully, if they get that set up, like the moves they made in the offseason, bolstered everywhere on the defense. Our running game should be phenomenal this year with the O-line that they have. And the one standout rookie on offense in the preseason has been Demetric Felton. Who's
Yes,
part running back, part receiver.
What was it? Because I only watched the Browns games. I think I watched the first one and I watched the one just there against the Falcons.
Yeah.
And your
so
man
this one.
Felton stood out for me.
Even
And I
the
was-
other ones, he just got a lot of carries and even received a lot, and he was the easiest name to come out from. So I'm very happy with him, but a lot of Browns fans seems to think he's still on the bubble. But I'd like to see him make the team.
Yeah.
But
that's the same
know.
as
He might get
that's
more-
the same with JJ.
yeah, he
Okay,
might get more
yes.
snaps at receiver, and he was returning as well, and he wasn't he didn't have amazing returning. I don't remember, but kind of do it all player for someone who was drafted, I think, late enough. Very happy with him. With the increases in defense, you'd imagine that we're just better this year because that was the big issue last year.
How do you feel in your division?
Very scary. People are apparently writing off the Steelers, which I don't like. And the Ravens had a bit of an off year last year, you could say, but it's a very scary division. The one good thing I'll say is that the Bengals should be good until next year.
The Bengals are the Bengals, but
The
I would
Bengals
be
are the Bengals.
I'd be on the boat of I don't think the Steelers are going to be that strong this year.
Well, I don't think you can
people
write
keep
them off
saying that,
completely.
but yeah,
Yes.
that still scares me. So, I'd be surprised if we didn't make the playoffs. I think we're shoo-in for, double-digit wins. But then, the Ravens could easily be double-digit wins as well.
Yeah.
So it's a tough division. I'd like to see them win it.
It's a very
But-
What are
difficult
your-
start.
What are
Yes.
your...
Browns. Play the
Chiefs week one.
Week 1.
But then it gets easier. Don't we play like
You play the Texans, then the Bears.
Yes.
Yeah, so once you get over week 1, we've got a bit of a thing to get together. But I think the Chiefs might be week
Actually,
1, might be the time to play them.
I don't think the Bears is going to be an easy one. I think they're one of my sleeper teams this season. I think Chicago's going to do it this year. I think they're going to...
Are you just saying that so Alan listens to the podcast?
No, I am not saying this because I think
'Cause
they're a sleeper
Bushie
team.
made promises last year
I
that he
did
could
make
not
promises
uphold.
I could not keep. That's because they
That's
just
it.
didn't pass it to Allen Robinson, who is no longer on the
I
Bears.
think he's
I
not.
know.
No.
But I have watched some
Where's he
games.
gone now?
And
I couldn't tell you.
good question.
Hold on. Oh, maybe is he still at the Bears?
No, he is still there. Was he not franchise tagged?
Oh, was he?
could.
I thought he was.
Oh.
I thought he was let go. That's my
Like,
bad.
did you see the
Thought he was a
Kyle
free agent.
Letta's 2 picks yesterday in yesterday's game?
Who's?
Kyle Letta, or second slash I think third choice quarterback at this point. He came in to play the second half.
I'm not gonna lie, Keith. I only watched some clips. Most
he-
of them were. One of them was Kyle Pitts, and I was like,
That was
a
that was
beast.
scary. That was scary.
Ah,
there was no room there, and he made a lot of yards.
so much room, and I was
Scary.
like, yes,
But
yes,
no, Kyle Letta threw 2 picks yesterday,
yeah.
both of which the Falcons then fumbled, and
Jesus
we got
Christ.
one back, and then they got the other one back. I was like, that's just a good way of gaining yards. If we throw picks, then they fumble, and then we pick the ball up again. You know.
Pretty
See,
solid.
Josh Rosen
Wow.
got a touchdown.
Oh yeah. Josh
That-
Rosen
that-
did look great. He was very shaky.
Ah,
Like
I give Josh Rosen a pass because I feel so sorry for that.
Mm.
Can't even say kid anymore because he's
No.
just been tossed around like a rag doll between
Yeah.
teams, and he has
But,
no time to learn
No,
any
that
sort of
was- yeah.
playbook.
Like, so I'm happy for him. He like because he was in late yesterday. He kind of had to force it a bit because they were down.
Yeah.
He played all right. You know, I think he threw 1 or 2 picks or one. No, 1 or 2 shaky throws, but he may not have been a pick.
I was telling
I know.
O'Shea there, we were discussing Josh Rosen before the show, and I was saying he's a strange case of if he went the year before the year he was drafted, there's a case he was the first first QB off the board, and if he went the year after, he'd also be the first QB
Who's-
off the board.
Who was the first QB the year before him?
Let me just tell you now. That was 20.
He was
20
2017,
Was he?
maybe 2018.
I think he was 2018. I'll tell you now, but
He was 2018, yeah. 10th overall in
2017
2018.
So was 2017 the year that Trubisky went as the first QB, or was that the following year?
I believe it was their selections.
Well, the first QB.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky was the first QB and the 2nd overall pick in
Yeah.
2017.
I mean, he would be in the conversation, but then again,
Uh,
Oh,
he
I
wanna
know
be
you were
known as
saying
the guy
yes.
taken before Mahomes.
And then
Yes, but that's
2019
yeah,
was
that's
Kyler
hindsight.
Murray.
Yeah. Hindsight 2020 here when you have Mahomes and Deshaun Watson are in that draft.
Yeah, and Mr. Biscuit
But-
goes 2 overall.
Yeah, and the Bears traded up. Yes, we know
Yeah.
the story. Your boy Myles Garrett was first picked.
Was. But yeah, I'm
Don't
just
look at
like
that
our
third round-
defense should be
third
good
overall
this
pick.
year. You know, with good pass rush, hopefully good linebackers. Jeremiah's Koromoa will be fab.
And I have to
for
say,
that.
Keane, as a 49ers fan, there's one game that stands out to me on the Browns schedule, and that's 17th of October when you could do us a big favour and you play the Cardinals. Boom,
I mean,
transition.
Gonna try. Speaking of Cardinals,
I mean, I was gonna go with oh shit, the 49ers had the third overall pick with Solomon Thomas.
Oh, fuck off. Let's not talk
I
about
mean
that.
that was well, yeah, but you know, still probably a better transition.
Alright,
Yeah, you-
fuck yourself.
It's okay. He's working on his transitions.
Fair,
I'm
fair.
doing what I can. So, I think the 49ers could. I think it's a very tough decision, but I think the 49 division, but I think the 49ers are going to make the playoffs if everyone
Yeah.
stays healthy.
Like,
Hang on.
that's
So,
one of those
big question.
divisions.
Yeah.
Do you have to play in MetLife
No.
at any stage?
I think we could win the division. I think
It's a very tough
very
division.
difficult
Yeah.
division, but I
It's
think we
the-
could win it if everyone stays healthy.
It's the toughest division in the league, I think.
Oh, I
mean,
would.
if we're
say
talking for similarities, I go NFC East. But toughest good division, probably NFC West, yeah.
Yes, if you're going by the skill gap.
By who could be anyone on anyone's day? NFC East all day.
He's-
Oh, I don't know.
so.
Washington
49ers
and
play
Cowboys might
Rams
be good
on the
this year.
last game of the season as well.
Oof.
But I think we could win the division
Definitely could.
if
I'd be
everyone stays
interested.
healthy.
I like the
but that's
Cardinals
huge
this
thing.
year. I just like watching Kyler play and just watch him
Ah.
squirm his way out of difficult decisions and then just throw the ball. And Dev JJ Watt this year, so that they might have some defensive pressure.
I also
Because-
think the obviously all the talk for the 49ers is the QB situation after drafting Trey Lance, and I think he's looked very good in preseason. But I think like the defense slides under the radar. Like, what's his name? Talanoa Hufanga, the safety that was drafted in the 5th round, has just looked incredible in preseason
Fair.
so far.
Fair.
And like I know Jaquiski Tartt's been out injured for preseason, but I think Hufanga is making a very strong case to be a starter from the get-go. He's just looked insane.
I just love that name. I don't know why, but Jaquiski Tart just brings a smile.
Jaquiski Tartt. What about
I mean,
the other rookie on the defense, Diamador Lenore at cornerback?
Ooh.
I'm
That's
a
not
big
bad.
fan of that name.
But Jaquiski Tart, it just sounds great.
That's very fair.
yeah, you did miss it, Pete, in the production meeting. We were discussing
What
the
the fuck
49ers.
did you talk about for
So
5
many
fucking
things.
minutes?
It was actually longer than you thought it was.
Yeah,
We
I got there
started at like 10
recorded.
to... But we were talking about the 49ers game, and I was telling Oshie, because he only saw, I think, the score and just some bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was so hyped about Jimmy G's rushing touchdown. And I was like, yeah, no, I saw the play. You wouldn't be hyped if you saw it. He's like, what are you talking about? He was watching it. He goes head first into a lineman
don't know what
on
he
the
was
end
doing.
zone. And I was like, Jimmy, no. It's
No,
preseason.
Jimmy.
Go down
That's
on the
how you
one,
get
Jimmy.
injured. That's how the lineman's just waiting on the line as Jimmy's running towards him.
I mean, he got the touchdown, but my God, Jimmy scared the crap out of me.
So on this note, 3 quarterbacks on the roster. That be enough?
Yes.
Well, based on how they played, Keen, they were switching the quarterbacks out mid-drive. So Jimmy would be in for a
Ooh.
play, then it'd be Trey Lance, then it'd go back to Jimmy, then it'd be Trey Lance for 3.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a really
The weird
interesting
one.
idea, and if they do it during the season, like that it's gonna make it really difficult to prepare to play for defenses to prepare against them.
Yeah,
To
but
an
it's just harder to prepare your offense as well.
Or
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah,
it's
Who
also
knows?
it can run to the predictability. Like 2 years ago, that was the Patriots' really predictable offense. Was if James
Wait.
White was in the backfield, it's a passing play. If it's Sony Michel, it's a run.
Fair. Okay, was it against the Raiders?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what the fuck is Jimmy doing in preseason here? This is not okay.
Yeah.
This is
I know.
this is not okay.
I know. Like I was hyped when I heard about it, but then I saw it and I was like, "What are you doing, Jimmy?
Yeah, what are you doing, Jimmy?
I'm surprised he wasn't concussed at the end of it. Jesus Christ.
Jimmy, just
And
slide."
yeah,
and
just
it's
throw
not-
it away.
It's not like Jimmy G is the most durable person out
No,
there.
no.
So don't throw it away. Just slide. Just decide to just stop. Like your man was just standing there waiting, so just stop a yard off and just take a knee calmly.
I mean, it was on the 1 already, so like,
Yeah.
throwing
I
it
like
away
to
is-
think. I like to think the lineman's like, "Don't make me hurt you."
I don't want to hurt you.
God, that's bad.
So you think, what do you think for the 49ers? Just win the division playoff bound, or all the way Super
I
Bowl?
think they could go all the way. Now it's going to be very difficult because obviously the Buccaneers are going to be going for it again this year.
That's an advantage I put on the Patriots. We can only meet the Buccaneers in the playoffs at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so you just have to worry about the Chiefs in the playoffs. or
we
the
have
Bills
we have
again
the
in the playoffs?
we have a weird thing with the Chiefs though, and the Browns. Browns
Thank
is a
you.
bad one. That's one
Mm,
I don't think we can. It's interesting because our Achilles heel last year was we couldn't stop the run to save our life, which was
Yeah,
evident
but
when we played
we see
49.
how this
But
goes.
this
and now
year,
the Chiefs have Frank Gore.
do they?
I don't know. Did we not talk about that earlier?
No, it's
No.
a different gore.
It's a
Fuck.
different gore, yeah. One who
Sorry, I
doesn't
spoiled
have a
that.
Wikipedia page, so I can't actually look up much about him.
This year, Bill splashed the cash on pretty much revamping the defensive line. So we should be giving up yards in the run. Maybe passing, but not the
Fair.
run.
Fair. I
But-
know. I think. Yeah.
I
that's gonna be
think
an
the
awkward
last
game.
time we played the Chiefs, it was like 3 points, maybe 7 points in up until the third quarter,
Oh,
and
Frank
we're
Gore's a
weak
free agent.
with Hoyer, the destroyer.
Oh, the Destroyer.
So
Incredible.
we've played some good games against the Chiefs, and I think we can beat them. But
Mike's
once
optimism
again,
knows no bounds.
oh, my optimism, it can go. You've seen me with Cam. I'd be like, yes, Cam, to no, Cam, no.
Oh, it's amazing.
But I will say, because the media was all about this quarterback. They're trying to make a controversy out of it, but it's going to be Cam Newton will start at least the first 4 games. I
Yeah.
don't expect Mac Jones to come in for the Brady game.
Yeah.
I'd be
fair.
hyped if it did, but I don't think it happened.
Oh, it would be hype as hell, but it would just be this whole, ooh, it's Brady against his heir apparent.
2 years
Yeah.
too late.
Yeah, yes. Although if we win that, it would be the one person he couldn't beat.
That is very fair. He still can't beat the Patriots.
That's it. Although, potentially, if if Jacoby starts for the Dolphins and Mac Jones plays, we could have the heir apparents fighting it off.
Yeah, I think this season is going to be exciting because there was like 5 QBs taken early who probably will all start at some point. So that's like the major excitement going into this year.
This
Which
is
one
actually the
them.
other thing about just we're circling back to the news about the Broncos naming Theodore Roosevelt the starter.
Yeah,
If you're as a coach, as like a coach and a GM, if you're not set on Drew Lock as your starter, how do you skip Mac Jones and Justin Fields in the draft?
Will you not go in the talks for Rodgers?
Can you
How-
really? Yeah, but I mean, like,
I mean, how serious
how
were they?
serious were the talks? For
I think
Rodgers?
everyone
That's
was in
true.
talks.
Yeah, I mean, at that point,
I'd
like,
be
Yeah.
surprised if
John
Bill
Lynch
didn't at
said
least send
that
an
he
email.
made
Be
the
like,
call and was
Yeah.
told that Rodgers wasn't up for trade. So
That's
it
true,
can't
but-
have been that serious.
Okay, but wasn't Teddy signed before the draft?
No, Teddy was post draft, I thought.
No, he was before draft.
Oh no,
I
yeah,
would've
no, you're
said
right. He was
before
like
draft.
a day or two before the draft.
He was
Yeah.
day or 2 before draft, so they already made that decision.
oh yeah,
So you don't need to.
I mean, still though.
Patrick Surtain's a very good player.
yeah. I have no idea how he's been playing in the preseason, but yeah,
So like,
I like it. You know, because the Broncos aren't doing anything this year, so even if they don't have
and
a QB,
you also gotta go with the speculation of half the talk was because the 49ers went really early and got the 3rd overall pick straight up and said we're taking a QB. Everyone was just gonna assume, oh, that means the other teams are gonna go up. So
Yeah.
Broncos are thinking, do we really want to trade all our assets to get a QB to go up? Is one gonna be left for us at 9?
like, I think it's smart for them not to take a QB.
I thought so too. I thought it was a good move. The interesting one now, which I thought was a poor move, but will work out, is the Bears signing Andy Dalton and then going.
Are they
and
not your
drafting a
pick to
QB.
win the Super Bowl?
They're a sleeper team, and I think it will work out for them. But they lost Kyle Fuller. They didn't pay because they were like, no, we're going free agent. They didn't pay Kyle Fuller. They went free agency, signed Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, you have Fields. Why did you need to sign Andy Dalton?
and Big Dick Nick.
Oh, stop. I still think they could do well.
Teddy's
I
only
like.
on a 1-year contract with the Broncos. I didn't realize that either.
Like, let's not forget, at one stage we had the debate, are the Bears good throughout last year?
Yeah, but that was just because they were winning games, but they shouldn't have been. Like, I'm looking at their roster here. Not terrible. Got Jimmy
Yes,
Graham.
Roquan
They got some
Smith,
stuff. God, I hate him so much.
he is a legend.
Yeah, he is, and he irritates me. Like, they got some good. Like, yes, I could see the Bears doing things. Justin Fields apparently has been playing well in preseason, so it'll be
That's
interesting
what
to
I've
see what
heard.
he
I've
gets.
heard things of Fields
I
has
have
been
heard
doing.
good things about Justin
Yeah,
Fields.
because I know that like everyone was saying that there's a bit of misinformation being spread about him before the draft, so I'd like to do well.
What was the misinformation about Justin Fields?
That he doesn't care enough, that he doesn't commit.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
last one in, first one out, as opposed to what
I
you
heard
need to
that
be
one as
to be.
well.
Yeah,
Which
Apparently
I
that
don't
was a
know
lie.
where that came from, because I remember hearing it was a lie as well, but I don't know where it came from or where it started. Like,
no idea, but apparently that was going around. I'd like to see Justin Fields do well.
they have some decent wide receivers. Like Allen Robinson and
Yeah.
Riley Ridley are both
Yeah.
good wide receivers.
And Darnell
Did I
Mooney.
still
forgot
have
about Darnell
Tariq
Mooney.
the Freak? Is
No, he's
Tariq
not
Cohen
there.
still there? No. Is it
Where's
Ty
he go?
Montgomery?
Yeah. They've got
Not a
5
bad
running
running
backs,
back.
and that's the only name I wrote.
David Montgomery.
Damian Williams, is he the one? Oh, he's the one from the Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah.
Damian Williams,
Khalil
he's alright.
Mack, Cole
So, like-
Kmet, what a man.
Oh, Cole
They
Kmet.
actually have
got-
a fucking solid team, actually.
That's what I was like. They're a sleeper team. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
The
so
only-
yeah.
the
people
only
do
thing I
things.
have against the Bears and why I have them as sleeper and not potential is they are in the NFC North with Rodgers and the Packers.
Yes, that will hold them back at least somewhat.
Oh, I forgot they had Akeem Hicks.
Like Bears defense is usually top 5, top 6 team defense in the league.
Yeah.
I'd be very
Their
interested to see
offense
how
is
they do.
usually. All right,
Christian,
what are
who's your sleeper pick for the
Yeah,
year?
your sleeper pick.
Keane, who's your sleeper pick? I really have to think about it. I don't have one prepared.
All right. Christian, you're not going to like this.
Right. Is it the
Patriots?
Rams?
It's the
Is it
Rams.
the Patriots? Oh,
I don't think so.
I do think the Patriots were. I did consider the Patriots, but like I was looking at the Rams' schedule last year. Like they made the playoffs. I think they even won a playoff game. Yeah, they beat the Seahawks, lost to the Packers in divisional round. But a lot of their games were quite close. They didn't lose by a lot in a lot of them. And I really don't like Jared Goff. I think Matthew Stafford is a
I
big
don't like
upgrade at
Jared Goff
quarterback.
all.
And-
it is a big upgrade.
Like looking at their roster, like they've got 2 of the best defensive players in the game. I think that's fair to say.
yeah, I would agree with that.
And they've got pieces all over the board. And it's kind of now, I think, a bit of a put up or shut up for Sean McVay if he is this amazing offensive genius.
Yeah.
They have, I'd say at least a good offense that he should be able to start putting things together. They can't blame Goff anymore.
I
And
mean,
I think that they could.
one thing I will say is Sean McVay's defense, but I'm not 100% sure on. Do they have a GM? Or is McVay in charge of
I actually
GM?
have no idea.
Because-
I'm not 100%. Let me check.
How many
They do.
first round picks has Sean McVay actually had in the draft?
Les
They seem-
Snead is their general manager.
Yes.
Because they seem to just be giving away their
They
draft
do,
picks
that
every year.
That would irritate me if I was a Rams fan. They do trade a lot of picks away.
And they're just like, we want the picks. Give us our picks back, please, God.
Yeah, like
Les
they
Snead
traded
has been GM since 2012.
They traded 2 firsts, next year's first and the following year's first, and a third of the draft just gone for Matty Stafford, which is a lot.
It is.
That's
Yeah.
like, and I've always wanted Stafford to get a shot with a good team, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah, because they gave us a first round pick for Brandon Cooks, who they then got rid of as well. So I don't know when who was the Rams' last first round pick?
It genuinely could be Goff.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Rams. And Jalen Ramsey cost at least 2.
Oh my god, the fact that they gave up Goff. No wait,
It is Goff,
Yeah.
2016.
they gave up
Oh,
Goff,
fuck.
and I forgot Goff was part of the trade. They had to give up him and 2 firsts and a third. Oh my god, this really has to work out for them.
2017 was
so-
traded to Tennessee so they could get
For
Goff.
Goff.
2018 was
18 to
traded
pay-
to New England for Brandon Cooks. 2019 was traded to Atlanta for more picks. 2020 and 21 were both traded to Jacksonville for Jalen Ramsey. And 22-23 were both traded to Detroit for Matty Stafford.
Bit too trade friendly there.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll do in 2024.
At least they can't. Yeah, at least now they have to settle down and they can't trade away for a couple of years. Not that that's much constant.
I mean, hang on a minute. Just should be careful because 49ers got rid of a lot of picks for Trey Lance. Could he be the new Goff in the NFC West?
I mean, not that many picks, I don't think. Like, not
cannot
as
remember what
many
it was.
as the Rams. I think. Let me
Hughes
double check.
traded. Well, they only traded 1 pick for Goff.
Oh,
And
no,
then
they
They traded-
traded.
oh,
one
yeah,
pick,
they wanted Stafford, so they acquired more. Lost more to get his replacement. Alright. What's your sleeper team, Oshin?
Have you figured it out yet, Oshin?
No, sorry.
Have
I
you figured-
had stuff to say about the Rams before we do this. The Rams have a very tough schedule, though. Like, first off, it's a very tough division. But even outside the division, they play the Bears, who we said...
My sleeper.
Mike Sleeper.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers. The Colts.
I honestly didn't. I just looked at
aren't-
last year's schedule. I
The
didn't bother. This
Colts
year's one.
aren't horrific.
Bit of an
They
oversight.
played the
No,
Lions
Colts should
and
be.
the
Colts
comeback
should be good.
of Jared Goff.
Oh, that'd be a big game. That'd be a
They
big game.
play the Packers.
Aaron Donald will finally be able to hit him for the Super
The
Bowl.
Ravens. And be interesting to see how the Jaguars do. Never know. Trevor Lawrence.
Oh my God, no.
And the Vikings are no pushovers either.
Okay, hang on. I've just found out 2 pieces of information. Both are fun.
Go on.
Okay.
Number 1, Mike.
Yes.
Davon Ryan is currently on the injured list for the Jaguars.
No way. Tavon.
Yes. Tavon is injured.
Oh
But-
no.
The second piece of news I've just figured out. His middle name is Cole. Like Coal. Like the mineral. His name is Taven Cole Bryan. And I don't know why I like that.
Okay. But will he be okay for October 17th?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm just looking at their current roster. And he's currently down as. Oh wait, he's active / injured. No football injury. What does that mean?
Is it
Oh,
a
he's
non-football
on.
injury?
Yeah, so I don't know how that
So is
affects.
he on like the COVID reserve?
It says he's on the reserve list, but like the standard
Okay.
injury reserve. But it's a non-football injury. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I'd love to see Tavon Bryan. Just get Mike to scream, Tavon!
Cap was a great player, just always was offside. Oh shit, we're gonna have to push you for an answer here on a
Yeah,
sleeper.
come on now.
Yeah, that's fair.
At least
I think
pick a
I'm just gonna
division.
go for the Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah,
Big shout.
Jets.
That's a
I,
big
like, I
shout.
don't think. I don't.
Why
think they're
Jets?
Gonna, like,
Is
win
it
the
purely
Super
because of
Bowl or
Salah?
anything. It's not purely because of Salah.
One of the
It's
reasons.
because he is one of the reasons. I mean, he's a fantastic defensive coordinator, so I'd be very interested to see what he does on the defense at the Jets. But I think Zach Wilson has apparently looked really good.
Yeah.
You know, and they've got a few decent bits, and their schedule shouldn't be horrific, I don't think.
No, I'm looking at it now. It's not too bad. I mean, through week 7, they have 2 free wins against the Patriots.
Yeah.
So,
I would gladly put a bet on that won't happen.
They play the Texans
you would've
in
go-
November. Now, the Texans might have got their shit together by then.
Yeah, like,
well,
finishing
it
4th has
depends.
helped them, but
If
it's an okay schedule.
It's
I mean,
alright. But I
with the
think they
Texans,
definitely won't
is it-
finish on 2 wins this year.
is Mills the QB the Texans drafted?
He was a QB in the draft, but I have no idea if they took him.
I think they took him, and let's be honest, if the trend continues
Mills.
and if
Yeah.
the trend continues and Tyrod Taylor gets injured, Davis Mills is in for a hell of a season.
Yeah, he rookie of the year. How much?
It's worth a shout. Like his last two teams, you've got Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Good old
I-
Tyrod Taylor.
Honestly, I think Tyrod Taylor is in contention for most unluckiest person in the NFL. He
Was
just
it who got injured by
his own medical staff.
Yeah.
Yep,
They punctured his
That's-
lung.
some say it was actually Justin Herbert that did it.
Apparently, it's quite easy to do, though. To be fair,
It's still really funny though.
it is. It is pretty funny. All right, very quickly, just before we finish up. Very quick. First answer. Prediction for Rookie of the Year. Keen.
Kyle Pitts.
Ooh,
I just
Mike.
will watch Kyle Pitts play this year.
I was also gonna go Kyle Pitts because that one play I saw.
That one play was phenomenal.
That's all I saw. And I
His
was like,
legs
oh
are
my
so
God.
too long.
They couldn't bring him down.
I'm going to
Send
be
it on,
extremely
Jason.
biased here and go.
You're going Trey Lance.
no,
No, he has
I'm
this.
not. I'm
Oh,
going Talanoa Hufanga, the safety I talked about earlier. I think.
Oh,
that's a
fair.
player for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, they have both, don't they?
Yeah, so
Yeah. I mean, Browns are two good young rookies. But my defense is very hard to
you got the
evaluate.
Yeah.
you got your man that you were pretty happy with the draft.
okay,
that you thought would be
yeah.
your first round
First
pick.
round pick in the second round, yeah. Very happy with that.
I
He
think
hasn't
yeah.
played too much, I don't think, in the preseason, but I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
Same with us. We got a steal, and Barrymore was an absolute steal.
Christian Barmore, yeah. Yeah.
Best defensive tackle in the draft, and we managed to
It
get him
was
in the
a
second
very-
round.
He was a very bad defensive line class.
Yes.
He was probably like the only good one.
Eh.
Which I was surprised he went that late, but yeah, no, that's very fair.
I'll be interested to see. I'm so happy. I'm so pumped for the season.
Yeah, I cannot wait for. I am just so annoyed we have to wait a week. That we've like
Yeah,
this
I
week with
know.
no games and then games.
It's going to be good though.
Oh,
It's
it
going to be
is.
worth the wait.
Our NFL Sundays are back.
I'm buzzing for
Maybe.
it.
I can't wait for the ads and the new State Farm ads.
Yes,
Right.
driver it is.
We'll leave it there. Cheers for listening, everyone. And
Beat the
enjoy
algorithm.
the NFL season. And as Keane said, feed the algorithm.